Hello, Seven Hills family. My name is Drew Davis. My wife, Carol, and our 3 children have been attending Seven Hills Fellowship since it began. I have lived through a lot of things as I look back on my life. I remember the Cold War, Desert Storm, Y2K, 9/11, but I have never felt an impact on my life as I have since COVID-19 has shown up. COVID-19 and our job situation is completely out of our control. Only through prayer and supplication to Jesus can anxiety be reduced and peace developed. Currently, I have been furloughed. I am fortunate in that my employer wants me back at some point, although I don't know when that will be. Personally, all I can buy at this time is food and basic utilities. All dreams of a vacation or remodeling the house are gone for now. It's easy to think what we could be doing with previous income we had, but looking at what we do have, friends and family, can give us a better appreciation of life. I believe these times we are in now are stressful, but temporary. I think we will arrive stronger and wiser at the end of this. If you are having difficulties now, remember Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plan to give you hope and a future."
Hi, I'm Carol, and I would like to offer some encouraging words too, as we do not know exactly when life will get back to normal. Drew mentioned some great Bible verses that we can remember through these trying times. Also, Hebrews says that God's Word is alive and active in us. So when we are tempted to panic and lose hope, we can rest in God and not panic, because number 1, He commands us not to in Philippians. And number 2, He promises us peace through any circumstances. And 3, He assures us we are never without hope or alone. We can also look through the Old Testament and see how He helped His people through difficult and dark times. His Word teaches us that He is in charge of all things and nothing takes Him by surprise. So don't panic spending these days at home in worry and fear. Instead, trust in God, and He will grant us peace that surpasses all understanding. I don't think this will last forever. We will be able to meet again with our church and friends and family, and I am looking forward to it. Until then, I challenge us to watch what God is doing around us, ask Him how we can help, and be open to learn what He wants us to learn. I'll end my part with these excerpts from Psalm 34. "I sought the Lord, and He answered me and delivered me from all my fears. When the poor one called out, the Lord heard, and from all his distress He saved him. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in Him." Next, we will hear from Kristin Warden, who's going to give us some practical financial advice.
Thank you, Carol and Drew, for your wise words. Hello, Seven Hills family. My name is Kristin Warden, and I have been a financial coach since 2016. As a financial coach, I have worked along so many to achieve financial goals such as getting out of debt and saving for retirement. I've also recently taught Financial Peace University here at the church. Right now, we are in such a crazy time. Not only are we fighting a worldwide pandemic, the world economy has essentially shut down. This is causing so much anxiety in our daily lives, so I want to talk to you about how to handle your finances during this time. This video is really meant for those who have lost a job, lost a significant portion of their income, or are likely to lose a job or a significant portion of their income. In addition, we have some ideas for college students at the end of the video. First, do not panic. The first reaction that so many have is to feel a sense of panic. Wise decisions are not ever made in this state. We can rest in the knowledge that we will make it through this. We will be together again. We will go back to work. It may look a little different, but there will be light. Okay. So what can we do to make it financially through this time of quarantine and social distancing? You can and should create a budget. This is really your spending plan. There is such power in writing it down and seeing it come together. You need a plan for all incoming money before you spend any of it. Comb through every expense and cut out any that are unnecessary. Cover your essentials first. This includes expenses related to your home, food, and transportation. If you have money remaining, then pay minimum payments on everything else. Do not pay extra on debts. Save all extra money. When this is over, you can go right back to paying extra on your debts. Put a hold on all investing. This includes 401ks or any automatic retirement withdrawals. This is a temporary pause. I know that the markets are low and there are a lot of undervalued investments, but this is not the time to be investing unless you have extensive emergency savings and a stable income. On the flip side, do not cash out investments unless you're facing bankruptcy or foreclosure. If you have a 401k, please do not cash it out or take a loan from it. And lastly, save all extra money, including the stimulus money. Many people will be receiving their stimulus check very soon if you have not already. This is not the time to use that money for home improvements or a special treat since you're stuck at home. Any extra money that you have saved can be used to pay off debt or for something else of your choosing once this is all over. I would like to take a minute to talk about the stimulus money that is currently being distributed. The stimulus checks are based on the taxes that you last filed, if you filed in 2018 or 2019. If you have not filed for 2019, it may be beneficial for you to go ahead and do so, particularly if you made less in 2019 than in 2018. The money is set to direct deposit into the account that you have on file. If this information is changed, you will need to notify the IRS. You can do so by clicking on the Get Info on Economic Impact Payments on the IRS webpage. If you do not file taxes for any reason or last filed before 2018, then click the tab that says Non-Filers Enter Payment Info here. You can also find the status of your refund as well as other valuable information on their main homepage. If you do not have enough money to pay all of your bills, research the COVID policies for all the companies with which you do business. Many have their policies on the top of their webpage, so it will be very easy to find. This is a worldwide issue, so businesses are working with their customers. Take payment holidays wherever you can without a penalty. This may push back the time that you will be paying on this account. That is okay. The most important thing for you to do is to communicate. Do not stop paying someone without communicating with them. Keep a log of all communication that includes the following information: date, time of call, name of person with whom you spoke, outcome of the conversation, follow-up that is required, and a checkbox for when you've completed your follow-up. This will help you prioritize the money that you do have to pay bills that either are not allowing a payment holiday or have a penalty. If you're still unable to cover those expenses, please contact the church. There is more information on that at the very end of this video. There are several tools that you can use to help in this process. EveryDollar and Mint are budgeting apps that make tracking your income and expenses easy. I personally use EveryDollar. It is a $0 budgeting application. This means that you allocate every dollar that is income before you spend any of your money. This gives every dollar a job. In addition, at the time of this recording, DaveRamsey.com is offering a 14-day free trial of Financial Peace University. This is a fabulous course that teaches so much about how to manage your money and to prioritize the steps that you take. If you are home and can binge watch this class, you'll be able to take it for free. But even if you can only make it through the first 2 or 3 lessons, it will be worth your time. I am also available if you have questions. My email is displayed on the bottom of the screen. Next, you'll see a testimony by church members Nina and Chris Tilley about how they are applying these exact principles in their lives right now. Immediately following, you'll hear tips for what college students can be doing financially right now. At the end of the video will be a message from church leadership. Thank you so much for your time today.
So we started working with Kristin in Financial Peace University because we were living paycheck to paycheck. Most of our arguments were based around money, and I felt like that the only way you could get ahead was to make more money. I felt like that there was more to life than just this. I just didn't know how to realistically achieve it.
So Chris has always managed our money. So when we started our budget, we first had to find out who was the nerd and who was the free spirit. Chris ultimately won out on that free spirit role. So I was left to manage the budget. When we put everything down on paper, it was a real eye-opener. Seeing how much we were bringing in compared to what was going out, I thought, wow, we're not that bad off. We just didn't have a plan or intention with our money. We used the EveryDollar app, which it made us allocate all of our money down to the last penny. The first month was kind of tough for Chris because he had to disclose everything that got us to this point, and I was able to see on paper my role in that situation. After 2 months of working on the budget and starting to get a rhythm, then the COVID-19 hit. I was scared for our family's safety. I was heartbroken over being laid off, and then losing all the strides we had made with our finances seemed like the world was falling apart. So when we were forced to look at the budget again, we had to look at it with a new angle.
So we decided to protect the four walls of our home. Food, mortgage, and utilities, anything else was negotiable. If we had the money to pay our bills, we paid them. We also had a little money in savings for emergencies, and this definitely qualified as an emergency. So we used that to get most of April's bills paid, and then the overwhelming stress lifted. We don't have to be millionaires to feel secure. I know my cup and my portion is enough, and God will always provide.
I was able to enjoy the extra time with my kids, get some minor home projects completed, and really think about my life and what God is calling me to do. Our life can be so busy with work, kids, and running from one activity to the next. I feel like I never got a moment to reflect. It takes stillness and prayer. My perspective of all this has changed because of our budget and our intentions. My hope is that people are able to find joy during this time and not stress over protecting their family.
Now I'd like to introduce Hartley and Rory, who attend Berry College and who are going to give us some advice for college students.
Most summer plans have more than likely changed. I know mine sure have. And although it's not exactly glamorous, and it may have nothing to do with your future career goals, getting a simple job in a grocery store or in the food industry is not a bad way to spend your summer. Many of you may be feeling powerless due to all this uncertainty around the pandemic. Regain some of your power by working to make money that you can save and invest in your future. A better job opportunity that will gain you better experience for your future career path will come around if you're patient and hungry enough for it. But while you wait, don't be stagnant. Get out there and go make some money.
Challenge yourself and be proactive during this time. Take a moment to look at your bank statement for the past 3 months. Go ahead and evaluate your cash flow coming in and going out, and maybe realize some things you would like to change to then create a financial plan. This may not be a very exciting way to spend your time, but then again, when will you ever have this much time on your hands? This plan will set you up for financial success for the years ahead of you.
My name is Ryan Stanger, and I'm an elder at Seven Hills Fellowship. I want to say a big thank you to all those who contributed to this project, especially to Kristin Warden, who designed and carried out the whole project start to finish. Her initiative in our fellowship is exactly what we hope springs out of a deepening relationship with Jesus, finding enterprising ways to love people well. While the thoughts and opinions expressed are not verbatim positions of Seven Hills Fellowship or the PCA, they do represent the accumulated wisdom of an accredited financial professional and some of her students. We believe that those of you falling on tough financial times can benefit from it. Every one of you is in a unique financial position, and there is no one-size-fits-all piece of advice. But if you are moving into uncharted, difficult financial waters during this economic season, I do think you would do well to heed much of the wisdom offered in this video. That being said, we do not want to put our hope in prudent financial decisions, because even the wisest and most diligent can wind up in peril. We do not want to place our trust in a growing economy or a highly functioning medical system. Those are all good things, but they are not ultimate things. Ultimate things cannot be taken from you by money troubles or health problems. Nonetheless, we know many of us are suffering, but we know that suffering brings us closer to God, because when He saw our suffering, He did not change our circumstances. He entered into it with us. Make no mistake, we at Seven Hills want you to act to control the things you are capable of controlling. A good measure of peace can be gained simply from doing that, but there is no peace that surpasses knowledge there. That can only come from faith in the finished work of Jesus Christ. The last thing I'd like to say is that you are not alone. 2 of the families in this video have lost a job in the last month. There are many in our fellowship struggling with financial hardship as a result of COVID-19. If you are struggling to meet your financial obligations and in danger of not being able to afford those basic necessities Kristin and the others mentioned, food, shelter, utilities, and transportation, please reach out to us. We specifically budget to help our Seven Hills family through times of crisis like this. You can contact me, BP, any elders or deacon or staff members, and we can get you in touch with the deacons to see if we can help. You are not alone. God has placed you in this family we call Seven Hills Fellowship, and we want to be in this with you.